Hello everyone, this is the homework video for Im2 number 27. So this is working on surface area of 3D shapes. Now we have, what shape is it that we have? Okay, now first thing you need to do is, do you see a base? Do you see two sides that are parallel? Well, yes, the two sides that are parallel has the shape of a pentagon. Okay, and we are given the apotham's length and we're giving the side length of the pentagon. So if I was to draw this, I have a pentagon that looks like this, and then I have the sides. So if I was to see this as the joining side, then I have a rectangle that looks like this. Then from here I have the base that looks like this. That is again identical. They are identical. And then but then each of the sides have a rectangle that looks like the blue. So because it's a 5-sided, I am going to have 5 of those. This length is going to match up here. This length here is going to match up right there. And then another one right here is going to match up here. And then yet one more here. Of course, I could have drawn those rectangles some over here as well. But either way, I have 5 of those squares or rectangles. What are the dimensions? Well, I know that the apotham's length, the center to the perpendicular distance to the side, is going to be 8.9. And I know that the side length is 13 here. That's what we have to. That's 13, that's 13, that's 13. It's going to be 13 all the way around, which means this is also going to be 13, and likewise here. Okay, and what about this length? Okay, it is the height of this rectangle, which is same as this length, is same as this length. So that's going to be 19. So we have 5 rectangles that are 19 by 13, and then we have this pentagon. That's my net. Okay? Alright, next, what do I have here? I have a base shape that is a circle, and that meets at a point. So what sort of shape is that? That's a cone. Oops, let me draw a circle. Certainly not an oval. Okay? And then from here, the side. Well, the side is going to be a sector of a larger circle. And this part, this length, is going to wrap right around the circle. So it's just going to be as long as the circumference of the circle, but it is also going to be a sector, like so. And this length from the edge of the cone to the tip is the slant height, which is 17.5. What else do we know? We're told that the radius of the circle is 7 units. So that's my cone's net. What about this, number 3? We have 2 parallel sides, right? We have one here and one here. And what is the shape? That's circle. And then what is wrapping around it is a rectangle. And that rectangle length is long enough to wrap right around the circle here. And then we have another circle at the bottom. Okay, so in fact, this is the side. So I'm going to use a different color. So this is the side. And we're told that this length height is 8. And this length is going to be wrapping around the circle entirely, so it's going to be 2 times pi times radius. What is the radius? Well, we know that the diameter is 16. That means the radius has to be 8. So it's 2 times pi times 8 again, so which is 16 pi. And same thing here, the radius is 8. Alright, so then for the bottom, this one, what shape is the base? It's a rectangle. So I'm going to draw a base that is a rectangle that has the dimension of 18 and 7. And then for each of the sides, we have triangles. We have matching triangles front and back. So we have matching triangles front and back that looks like that. And then we have also skinny triangle. This skinny triangle right there. So that's the skinny triangle right there. Of course, hopefully you can see that this length and this length is going to be the same because that's how they join together. Okay, what are the dimensions that we know? We're told that this length for the larger, wider triangle, the slant height is 8.7. And we're not given this height. Okay, is this going to be the same height as this? No, it's not. Okay, because it's going to be a lot skinnier. Alright, so now let's move on to number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, for name each of the 3D shapes, then find the surface area of each figure. Draw its net if that helps you identify the size involved. Round your answers to the nearest tenth if necessary. Okay, so what is the shape? Well, this is all the sides are rectangle, right? So in this case, it's a rectangular prism. And it has 6 sides. So it's a rectangular prism. Now, you could have chosen any top and bottom, the 2 opposing sides as the base because they're all rectangles. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to choose the top and the bottom because that helps me to visualize. You could have chosen this side and the back side here as the base, but I'm choosing this as my base. So that means that's going to be my base here, and which is 5 by 8. So that's 5 by 8. Okay, maybe I should have drawn it to be less like a rectangle, more like a rectangle. Okay, you know what? Let me cut it off here. Okay, and then that face is being joined by this rectangle that has the width of 5, but then the length of 2. So that's going to be 5 as well here, but this is going to be 2. And then at the bottom, I have the identical shape and size. So that's going to be 5 here, and that's going to be 8. Alright. And then I have this side that is being joined to the blue side. And that has the dimension of 5 units by 2 units. This is 5 units here. Oh no, this should be 8 because it's joining to this side, which is going to be 8. So that's going to be 8 units and 2 units. And then on the other side, you have another smaller rectangle, and then yet another green rectangle that has the dimension of 8. And this one has the dimension of 5, just like this one is 5 as well. And this length is going to be 2, just the same as this. Okay, alright, so then what is the area of this? surface area. Well, what is this area? Well, the area is going to be the total area is going to be I have 2 of the regular rectangle is going to be 8 by 5. And I have 2 of the blue rectangle, 2 of the 5 by 2. And then 2 of the 8 by 2. And that comes to 8 times 5 is 40, times 2 is 80, plus 5 times 2 is 10, times 2 is 20, plus 8 times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. That leaves me with 132 yard square. So that's my area. Okay. Now number 6. It is a cylinder. Just because it's on the side, the 2 sides that are parallel to each other, 2 faces that are parallel to each other is the circle. So we have 2 circles, one at the top and one at the bottom. And then we have a rectangle that joins the 2. And again, the length of this rectangle, it wraps right around the circle, no more or no less. So, and this length is going to be, the diameter is 12 centimeters. That means the radius is going to be 6 centimeters. And the height, this length is 9 centimeters. So this is 9 centimeters here. Okay, what about this length? This length is going to be wrapping around the circle. So it's going to be 2 times pi times r, which is 6. So it's 12 pi. Alright, so then what is the total surface area? It is going to be, we have 2 of the circles, and each of the circles area is pi r squared. Pi r squared is going to be, r is 6, so it's going to be 6 squared, plus the area of the rectangle. What is that? 2 times 6 is 12 pi times 9. 12 times 9 is 108. So it's going to be 108 pi. Let me write how I got there. So that is 2 times, so that's 12 pi multiplied by 9. Okay, so then we have 36. 6 squared is 36 times 2 is 72 pi, plus 12 times 9 is 108 pi, and 108 plus 72 is going to be 180 pi centimeters squared. And it said it asked to round to 1 decimal place or tenth if you need to. So that's going to be 180 multiplied by 3.14, and that leaves me with 565.2 centimeters squared. And that's my final answer. Alright, number 7. Okay, what shape is this? Oh, I forgot to write down the shape for the previous one. This is cylinder. And for this is a pyramid because it meets at the top, at the tip. So it's a pyramid. And what is the base shape? Base shape is a rectangle. So it's a rectangular pyramid. Okay, and then what is the net going to look like? We have the base, which is rectangle, 9 by 10. And each of the sides have a triangle. And the shorter side is going to be a little bit longer.